Hello everyone, Sweet Lou here, and this is your exclusive hands-off first look at a couple of cameras. First off, we are not going to get our hands on the Fuji XT30 because Fuji didn't invite me to their event. What's that all about? Anyway, the XT30 is the follow-up to the XT20, and it's the little sibling of the XT3. You know what that means, right? It's going to be half the camera, 3/4 of the price. In all honesty, the price is pretty good, and you're getting a lot for that value. You're getting 26.1 megapixels, APS-C X-Trans CMOS sensor, face detect, autofocus, eye detection, all that good stuff. And you're getting 4K 30 as well as 120 in 1080. The camera looks pretty aesthetic if we're being honest here, especially that silver. I don't have a ton of mean things to say about it, so let's just move things along here a little bit. Would I like to try it out? Yes. Can I afford it right now? No. Up next we have the EOS RP. Did you know it's pronounced EOS? There's all these stupid articles coming out about it. I don't really... Nobody gives a fuck. But yeah, the EOS RP, more like RIP, am I right? You know, because Canon's mirrorless cameras are dead on arrival. I wouldn't really know if the camera's dead on arrival if we're being honest because I haven't gotten my hands on it. But what I do know is that Canon seems to be hell-bent on making the most insulting cameras possible. Before we really get into all the things that are wrong with it, we just got a note here. I love how Canon opens this up with, yeah, we got a flip screen. Yeah, our screen flips all the way out. It's crazy, it flips. It's a full-frame mirrorless camera. They're really pushing the fact that it's lightweight, it's smaller than the EOS R, and that's where the cool things end. I want to reference a little-known YouTuber here. You probably haven't heard of him, but Philip DeFranco has this term that he often uses, the douchebag of the day, and I think it's fair to say Canon has won our douchebag of the day award. It was going to go to Sony, but then this happened. I mean, everyone was pissed off at the 6D Mark II when it came out. I use it begrudgingly. I'm using it right now. The no headphone jack. I don't know how I sound. I see the levels. I hope I sound good. But I can't monitor it because I don't have fucking headphones in this camera. It's so annoying. They pulled an apple on us by removing that headphone jack. But the RP, the headphone jack was just the warm-up round, let me tell you. Well, let me take a second here to say that much to my dismay, actually, the headphone input is a thing on the EOS RP, so I guess the joke's on me. Here's the headline for you. The EOS RP has 4K video. Well, to be fair, it's got a crop factor. It's almost like Super 35, but it is 4K. And hey, you know that feature that practically sells the camera? You know, the class-leading autofocusing system that they're so keen to talk about constantly, the dual pixel autofocus. Let's get that out of the 4K. That's not a thing. We don't need that in 4K. And the C-Log, get rid of that too. Get it all out of there. This is a mirrorless budget camera, don't you see? Remove all the features people need. So the camera has 4K in the same way that Dutch had a plan. All of Dutch's plans were really bad, that's the joke. You're cropping in, you're losing the autofocus. There's 2 huge strikes on video. Now don't get me wrong, if you're making a film, hey, sure, that could work. But for what we're doing right now, for the B-roll stuff I do, did I mention there isn't 2398 in 1080? Did I mention that? Did I mention that we're in 2007? No 2398 in 1080? Are you crazy? Hey, who needs 2398, right? It's not what we're shooting in right now. No one shoots in that frame rate. You can shoot in 2398 in 4K, which is confusing to me. If it's there in the 4K, why is it not there in the 1080? I don't understand it. It's almost as if Canon's arbitrarily locking features to sell other cameras. They also took away the LCD screen on the top of the camera as well as the touch bar, which was in the previous EOS R, but I don't really think people are losing too much sleep over that. Nobody gives a fuck. Kinda almost feels like Canon's gonna do some sort of day one DLC shit, you know, where it's like, oh, you can get the season pass and then you'll have 2398. Canon, don't go the way of EA, please, for the love of God. Wait a second. So do I want to try the EOS RP? No. I guess you could say I'm glad I didn't get my hands on that one. Alright, I know this camera isn't as new as the other two, but we're going to talk about it anyway. The Sony a6400. Haven't touched it. Have some thoughts. Here we go. Sony came out swinging. They had this crazy video talking about this new camera that's for vloggers and selfies. Radical, man. That's really cool. So you have a flip screen, right? You do? Oh, it flips up, not out. That's not a problem, right? I mean, when you're using external mics, you just put it on top. Oh. Even their own marketing materials show how flawed this system is. I mean, why do you think the screen is down in this photo? They were taking the product photos for this camera, and that's like the exact moment it hit them. Jerry, mount this audio thing onto the shoe. Oh. And what kind of Dr. Seuss looking ass hinge system is this, by the way? Like, remember the RX100? You guys made those. Oh, it's because you needed to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge the viewfinder. I get it. That's interesting. Maybe you should have had the screen flip out of the side of the camera. Well, even so, at least the A6400 can do 23:9:8 and 1080p. I didn't think in 2019 that would be a stunning achievement, but hey, Canon's raising the bar for all of us. It can even do 120 and 1080. That's some crazy shit. And somehow Sony managed to make this camera cheaper than the EOS RP. Come to think of it, the Fuji XT30 is cheaper than the EOS RP too, so both of these cameras are probably better options than the EOS RP for various reasons. So it has more features, but I mean the screen, the screen, why? You know, I saw this video where some guy was like, oh, well, you're wrong, just use an external monitor. That's like about as tone deaf as that Blizzard guy, you know? The employee from Blizzard when they're talking about Diablo and it's becoming a mobile game and they were like, oh, don't you guys have phones?
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Well, that's all I got. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk, guys. Every day as photo and video enthusiasts, we're forced to stray further from God because of these companies. Canon, step it up. And Sony, don't you dare put that 180-degree flip screen on the A7S Mark III. Alright, I hope you liked the new format. See ya. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you liked it. Or don't. I don't really care. Now the XT30 is special because Fuji and you're getting or full HD using an external. Oh, it's because you needed a dodged up dick dot in video invitation. Get it all out of there. Doesn't matter.